Hello fellow YouTubers, this is iFreak, otherwise known as Chinese Fighting Muffin on DeviantArt, back with another BJD related video. I'm here with Rayne and we're going to be answering a prompt created by Lorti, who is otherwise known as PHXXX Cowgirl, I think. I will link her down below. She's a great BJD uploader, and she has really beautiful dolls, and she's really full of character. So yeah, I'll link it below. The prompt was 10 random facts about your doll, and she asked to pick your either like favorite doll or something, and do a a prompt on them. So I've got Rayne with me, who is my only doll at the moment. However, I do have dolls coming in soon, and I will probably do the 10 facts about them too, because this was really fun. I had to write them down on my computer, so if I space out or I have to scroll down a bit, I'll just pause and, well, not pause the video, but you know what I mean. So, starting off with the first fact about Rayne. Rayne doesn't speak. Hardly ever. She lost her parents at a very young age, and I think no one really knows why she doesn't speak at all, hardly ever. But we think that it's due to the fact that post-traumatic stress, maybe? But no one knows. She just keeps herself tight-lipped all the time. She rarely ever talks, only when she has to, like ordering coffee or something like that in the shops, just out of being like kind and polite. She will thank them and everything, but her voice never raises over a whisper or a mumble. Like, it's very quiet. It's not really a whisper, but it's very, very quiet and very like kept down tone wise. Also, she does speak to her sister, but her sister's really the only person that she will speak to. And by speak, it's not like talk in a general basis that most people speak to one another, especially loved ones. She will say a few words, if a sentence maybe, but not really. Betty, however, her sister, her stepsister, can talk and talk and talk and talk forever. So she kind of has the same amount, like she talks for the both of them, the amount of talking that she does do. But yeah, we'll keep this Rayne related. It's been quite hard because the characters are so intertwined. It's hard to she's falling. It's hard to kind of keep it just with Rayne, but we will see. Fact number 2. Rayne loves dark themed things, be it clothing, be it Victorian fashion, like the very dark. She also loves dark humor, especially in cartoons, like Gloomy Bear, Happy Tree Friends. It's not that she likes or finds humor in the violence, it's just something about it that really, I don't know, but just really interests her. She also loves like classic horror movies, especially the black and white ones, like Bela Lugosi's Dracula or Dracula with Gary Oldman, that was in color. And she loves Vincent Price films. There's just something about the older acting, especially with horror, how they didn't have as much as we have nowadays to scare people with. They had to make do with the special effects and stuff that they have back then, and that really intrigues her creatively. And she just loves horror in general. Fact number 3 would be her favorite daily hobbies include writing. She loves writing books, like always fictional, Some of them are short stories, or the majority of them are short stories, sorry. Sometimes she doesn't finish them as much as she'd like to, and some get left because she suffers from art block that comes on and off. But to help soothe her art block, she'll end up starting another story to burst her creativity. But in doing that, she kind of forgets about the one that she was writing before and just immerses herself in the new story and the new world that she's creating with her imagination. Another hobby that she loves is playing video games with her sister Betty. Betty loves video games and always tries to drag Rayne along to play with them, play the games and stuff. And Rayne is capable of holding her own. She's very quiet, and no one really knows how good she is at video games, so she kind of kicks ass secretly, ninja style. Also, another hobby of hers would be drawing. She loves sketching. She doesn't really draw a lot, but she likes just drawing animals, just realistic looking, not cartoon or anything. And the last couple of hobbies that she does, just to wrap up this fact, would be she loves listening to music. It's everything for her. It's her life. It's just amazing. It really helps her escape. And just, yeah, I'll get to that on a different fact. But lastly, her favorite hobby would be reading. She loves reading, and she tends to sit in these really quirky positions while she's reading, or sit up in higher places or odd places, in the corner on the floor with her knees tucked up, or she'll be sitting upside down with her back and everything on the ground, but her legs up on a bed or the couch, or she's known to climb up on high things, especially out in public, like trees or even structural frames and stuff, and just sit there and read because she likes to not be around other people. But that kind of wraps up number 3, because I was a bit rambling there. Fact number 4, Rayne loves cooking. She loves everything about cooking. The smell, the creative aspect of it, making people happy with her cooking, that people, when people enjoy what she's cooking and think it's amazing, it really kind of just makes her all warm and fuzzy inside that she's made someone happy by something that she's created. Also, her father, who I mentioned before, her parents passed away, but her father was an incredible famous chef, and he owned quite a few very highly ranked restaurants. And whenever Rayne cooks, she feels connected to him, like he's there helping her in the kitchen or watching her at work, and she enjoys that thoroughly. So whenever she's feeling upset or a bit down, she's not hungry or anything, but she loves cooking or making something, even baking and creating in the kitchen, and it helps her feel, soothed that she knows he's watching her. Scrolling. Okay. Fact number 5. Rayne, much like her sister Betty, is obsessed with music. I got to this on the last prompt. Well, not the last one, the one before that. But this is more thoroughly covering it. Music to Rayne is like her air. She can't live without it. It always has to be there, whether she's listening to headphones, whether she has it playing in the background to whatever she's doing, say reading, or she could be cooking. She loves just having it in there in her life, and it really calms her down and helps her concentrate, oddly enough. But yeah, music is her everything. And in the apartment where they live, she has this tiny little kind of, not dilapidated, but it's pretty dodgy little concrete balcony It's mainly for just like keeping flower pots and stuff because they live in the city, and it's a townhouse, so it's pretty, like, what would you say, like tight and small. But she loves sitting on that balcony with her legs dangling down through the wire, like the metal rails, and just listening to music, watching everything go by, like the city below. And now for number 6, kind of related to that. Rayne and her sister live in a townhouse or like apartment in the city. It's pretty run down, and the kitchen is part of the living room. However, they have made do with what they have, and they've made it look really nice. So on the outside, it looks a bit shabby, but inside, it's really, really lovely. Um, it's in the, like, not in the heart of the city. It's about, say, 10 minutes away from the main city train station. But it's perfectly located for them, and for Rayne in particular, she doesn't like being in all the hustle and everything of the the main heart of the city. So being just on the outside is good, so she can just skirt around and do her own thing and try to be unnoticed by the crowds and stuff, because she likes being hidden and withdrawn. It's a very random fact, but trying to come up with these is so hard because there's so much that makes my characters in particular. I'm not sure with other people, but I put a lot into them, so trying to narrow it down to like 10 facts was hard, and some of them were quite random. But hey, anyway. Fact number 7, Rayne. We've already covered that. I've written Rayne loves to cook, but we've already covered that. However, in the fact, I also wrote down some of her favorite foods. So, in the spirit of keeping this random facts, her favorite foods are Peking duck. She's not particularly fussed on the whole, when you go to a restaurant and you have the duck and you have the pancakes, and then they take the duck away and make san shui bao, which is like kind of like Asian style tacos, but with lettuce instead of taco shells. But she's not too fussed on that. She wishes that they would just ignore all that routine and just give her the actual duck, roast duck itself, and just the pancakes, because she's just like, give me. Because she loves food, and that's one of the foods that she really likes. Also, her other favorite food is homemade pizza. It has to be made by herself whenever they go out, because Betty loves going out and eating out at takeouts and restaurants. Rayne gets so picky and kind of irritable about other people's cooking and thinks her homemade pizzas are better than everyone's. So it's either her way or the highway kind of thing with that. And she also loves Chinese takeout food. Her and her sister eat it all the time. As much as she can cook quite competently, her cooking is quite great. She just loves Chinese takeout and could never really conquer Chinese cooking herself, like homemade. And she's picky where it comes from. She knows quite a few little takeout places that she really likes and entrusts that the food is good quality or good enough for her to eat. But she'll order it from there because she loves Chinese takeout food. And her last favorite food is chocolate chip cookies. She loves chocolate chip cookies with milk and will sit there eating them whilst gaming or watching her sister watch TV or watching movies. Generally homemade stuff is her favorite, but she doesn't like the packaged kind. She only likes when it's homemade. If it's homemade by someone else, like from a bakery, she likes it, but generally she just makes them herself. Bit of a screw up kind of there before, but yeah. Number 8. Rayne is petrified of needles. The fear of it is not really the fear of the pain, but mentally she just shies away from anything that reminds her of them, like sewing. Even if she just lightly pricks her finger and it doesn't hurt, she will like convulse or shake or like toss the actual sewing needle away, which irritates her sister because she has to go and find it in fear that she will step on it. But yeah, Rayne can't stand anything like needles. She has no tattoos or piercings to date because of that, but her sister is persistent in getting Rayne to have a tattoo because Betty loves tattoos. I know I'm kind of merging onto her sister, but she loves tattoos so much and she wishes so badly that her sister could share her love of that. So she's trying to force Rayne to get some. So that kind of happens in the future, but Rayne doesn't really like it and kind of goes in kicking and screaming. Not like physically kicking and screaming, but yeah. But in saying that, Rayne does actually find people with body art, like tattoos or piercings. She really likes it. She really enjoys it thoroughly. And she thinks it's quite beautiful. She just is yet to do it to herself. Fact number 9. Rayne is verging on an insomniac. She can't sleep at all. She stays awake. Pretty much, yeah, she can stay awake all night long. And it's only in the mornings around 7 to 8 o'clock, maybe 10 o'clock, her body will just pass out in pure exhaustion. However, she's been known to stay up for 3 to 4 days at a time with no sleep, because no matter how hard her body tries to force herself to sleep, Rayne will fight it and try to keep going. She finds that her body's exhaustion is a weakness, especially if she's working hard at the restaurant where she works, and she gets tired, she will just keep battling it. Also, number 10, first and foremost and finally, as much as she wishes she could learn to draw, Rayne's art is generally basic. She doesn't really, she doesn't really think too highly of her own art, but she tries her best. And that's it. Thank you for watching. Gotta stop.